Good morning. I seriously can't believe that I get paid to wave a camera around and then edit footage. And today I'm going to talk to you about the gear that I use to make money. In case you guys didn't know, my name is Jake Bensulock. I am a videographer and documentary filmmaker based in the Southeast. And today we're talking about gear because you guys love talking about gear. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is how I transport all of my gear, and it's pretty simple. Let me go grab it. So this here is the Pelican Vault something something, and it is just the cheaper version of all of the Pelican cases that they make. And in case you guys didn't know, Pelican is this hard case brand. They're waterproof and they come with organization for camera gear or I think guns or something, but I'm a videographer, so I don't have guns. That kind of goes hands in hand. I highly recommend a Pelican case because they're the best. But make sure you're getting one that can be used for carry-on because that would stink if you meant to carry it on and you couldn't. So. Okay, next up. Inside of here is probably my favorite microphones that I'm using nowadays for 95% of the work that I'm doing. Normally, I would have them on right now, but because we're doing this video, I wanted to show you them off, and I'm sure you have heard all about these before, but these are the DJI Mic 2s, and they come with this little traveling case. They're pretty amazing. They're small. They connect so well. They have internal 32-bit float recording, which is just amazing. This charging case charges them, and I've yet to have to charge them, and I bought them a month ago, almost 2 now. They're pretty great, really easy to hide. If you want to just hold them like this, you can. But I got lavalier microphone, so tape it to the chest, and everything goes really smooth, honestly. I love these mics. I would be using them right now, but we have a video to record. Let's get into another thing that I've been using, which is essential, which is the Aperture 200SX. If you guys didn't know, the Aperture 200SX is one of the cheaper lights that Aperture sells, and it's 200 watt. It has really good power delivery. It's really bright. It's what's lighting this interview right now. I will be showing you B-roll of what it looks like, but you can see it's incredibly powerful, incredibly light, it's super easy to transport. It fits on a really cheap Amazon light stand. Like it's not heavy enough to tip it over, which is pretty incredible. I don't have any dirt on the bottom here and it's working really well. So that's great. Lighting's important because I wouldn't be able to have this good of a little interview setup in this room without my lights. If you notice, the windows back here are totally well exposed. I was able to do that by setting my exposure for that window and putting this big light in my face to light me as well. And that's pretty essential for interviews because having this window back here is not only backlighting me, which is creating separation between me and the background, but it also gives a little bit of visual interest, which you need for interviews because usually interviews are pretty boring. Now let's move on to one of the most used pieces of gear in my kit besides my camera. It's my gimbal. This here is the Zhiyun Weebill 3S. It's one of the cheaper ones from Zhiyun, whatever it is. But it is honestly a whole lot easier to set up. They made it really simple, especially compared to the DJI ones, which I love and I wish I could have one, but they're pretty expensive. So I went with this one to test it out. It holds my camera, which we're going to get to in a second, which is pretty impressive because it's a pretty heavy setup, but it holds it just fine. It's really stable. I'll put up some test footage, and honestly, I love it. It's exactly what I need, especially for a piece of gear that, in my opinion, is not that exciting. I don't like to spend a lot of money on things that I don't like get super excited about. And gimbals to me is just, it's essential for videography, especially for brand and business videography because people need smooth footage for that style of videography. But for me, I personally like handheld. I like the look of it. I'm a documentary filmmaker at heart, so that stuff is really interesting to me. But I do a lot of stuff for centers and restaurants, and for that type of videography, stable footage is pretty essential. So I use this a whole lot for $300. I literally don't think you could beat it. I got mine, I think, open box on B&H. Amazing deal. Highly recommend if you're looking for a gimbal and you're like me and don't love using them, but you need one for work. So highly recommend this. And lastly, I hope this doesn't look atrocious because I switched to my iPhone, is the most important piece of gear. And this here is the Motherload. It's my favorite camera setup. I feel like a monster using this thing. It's what was just filming me a second ago. And let's break it down for you guys right now. First off, the body is the Sony FX30. It's my favorite camera of all time. I'm a huge APS-C fan. Super 35 is like my favorite traditional form of film, and I like the grain, the texture. It's not as good in low light, but I actually think that's good because it helps me work around a lot of things. And especially as a beginner, I think you need some cameras that challenge you because you learn and get better. And once I'm better, I can actually get a full frame camera and have those skills still. On it right now is the 23mm from Sure. It's a 23mm f1.2 autofocus lens. I've talked about it on this channel before. For $250, you literally can't get a better lens. The 23mm on APS-C is a 35mm, which is like my favorite focal length of all time. It's beautiful. It's a crispy lens. It looks good. I can't speak enough highly about it. On top is the Atomos Ninja 5, which is just a awesome monitor. I got it for a good deal from a friend who was selling his. It's not super heavy to carry, but it's heavy enough to where I could balance it really, really well. On the back is a small rig V-mount battery with the small rig V-mount plate. I mean, I power everything for like 7 hours using this. So for all day events, and then after the 7 hours, if the V-mount dies, take it off and I have a fully charged battery to use. So highly recommend something like this for beginners. It's pretty expensive, but totally worth it. And I have the side handhold because I actually think it's a lot more stable than a top handle. Top handles, you're like this and you're gonna sway a lot like that, but when you have two hands like this, it is butter smooth. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a little bit of something about a beginner-friendly videography kit. I was able to build this kit just using profits from videography gigs. I was contracted by a production company before starting my own company, and through that money that I got there, I was able to build this kit, or just start building it at least, until I had a good enough kit to where I was comfortable enough to go out on my own and start my own media company, Jake Ryan Media. If you're curious about that company, the link down below will take you to my website where you could see about me, some sample projects, and a contact form. And don't just use the contact form if you need videography business, but if you have questions, just leave them there or leave them in the comments down below. Every comment helps. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. And I'll see you guys very soon. Y'all are the best. See ya.